history. It is a repeat of the debt cycle. They are rolling the debts. They are doing the same thing each cycle. It's not to do with a halving cycle, nothing to do with any of that. It's all driven by liquidity cycle and funding of debts. Each phase, we get phase one of the banana zone, banana number one. The corrective zone, banana number two comes. Another correction, banana number three. So this is the banana zone. So that's what happened in 2020, 2021. Off we go. Sorry, that was 2017, which again looks very similar to this one. That was the last one. Here we are now. It can't be clearer to me. I've shown you the macro evidence, the technical evidence, the sentiment evidence. Everything here suggests to me that hold on to your hats. Don't fuck this up. Don't lose control of your tokens. Don't use leverage. Don't get your wallet hacked. Just sit with it. Be careful. Don't get FOMO. Do all of the right things, and we'll go up to the next phase of corrections. That's going to be harder because the next one that happens, we'll have a 35% drop, and you'll all say, is it over? And you'll definitely be sure it's over. And everybody on Twitter will tell you it's over, and it won't be over. By our work, we suggest that because of the elongation of the business cycle, because rates were higher for longer, the forward-looking liquidity suggests that, again, probabilistically speaking, without any guarantees, this whole thing goes into Q1, maybe Q2 of 2026, which would align with Trump's, trying to win the midterms as well. So everything's lined up for us. I think it's started. So keep the faith, keep building stuff, and let's keep driving Siri forward with all of this.
Good morning, everyone. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of your favorite crypto news related channel. And believe me, today is going to be a fun episode. Now, although the sky is falling in the crypto market, we're going to talk about the realistic perception of what the end of this year could look like. Are we creating a local bottom? Did we take out some key ranges? Bitcoin is driving the current price action as we speak. So we're going to be breaking that down right at the beginning of today's show. I'm also going to be breaking down a fake news article that is going viral right now. Michael Saylor's MicroStrategy is collapsing as we speak. Shares are down from their all-time high of over $450 to less than $210 on the public market. And as those continues to drop, that could be the cascading effect that continues to work against Bitcoin. So I'm going to break that down as well. We've got an ETF update on the volume, record breaking. We blew away Solana's $57 million record yesterday. And I'm also going to provide a Nasdaq update on the tokenization of real world assets. But we already got 1,300 live listeners. If you're excited and you enjoy this content, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. Now, I want to remind you guys, I am optimistic. A lot of people are taking heat for being optimistic. That's totally okay. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. And if we do head into a bear market here, I have planned accordingly. But according to my previous estimates, I believe that this is going to continue. We are going to see Bitcoin make brand new all-time highs. Now, in reference to the Bitcoin price chart, I'm just going to give you the daily prices. Then we'll do a little bit of TA to kick off today's episode. Bitcoin trading at $97,000 this morning. That is down dramatically, down from $103,000, I believe, at the highs just 48 hours ago. We touched as low as $94,000. So I'm going to talk about that at the beginning of the show. Ethereum is trading at $32.36. XRP trading at about $2.31. And now everybody in the XRP community was focused on the huge news we got yesterday with the Canary XRP spot product going live on the Nasdaq. And what did we see? Record-breaking inflows, record-breaking volume for the XRP community. And people out there, they're talking about how someone said I sound like I have a cold. My voice is a little bit, it's a little bit, I wouldn't say I have a cold, but I think it's the solo dolo shows, all the isolated talking. I'm building those muscles. So shout out to you guys for noticing that. But back into the XRP content, XRPC. Someone said, I detect a note of sickness. Hey, don't put that on me. I'm feeling healthy. I'm feeling wealthy. Don't make me fall for that bear market momentum. And I do want to give a massive shout out and thank you to Chris, a brand new member of the Good Evening Crypto community. We did pass 165 members of the Good Evening Crypto community. Now, somebody said, it's the steroids. Guys, if it was steroids, I'd be more than 170 pounds. Let me just say that outright. But let's get back into the content that you guys showed up here for, as XRP had record-breaking volume and inflows yesterday after the initial launch of the first ever spot XRP product inside the United States. Now, Eric Balanchunas, the lead ETF analyst out of Bloomberg, went on to congratulate the XRP community, stating congratulations on XRPC for its nearly $60 million, $58 million to be exact, in day one volume. This is the most of any ETF launched this year out of over 900 products, barely edging out Solana's 57 million. Now, what makes this more impressive? Because the XRP army, just like I was, guys, you're all probably sitting there saying, of course, we blew away Solana. XRP is better than Solana. There's more institutional demand than Solana. But here's the interesting part, and I can't find the particular tweet that I'm looking for. Canary Capital is only 200 million in assets under management. The next ETF filing, and I'm going to show you guys one other major topic I forgot to reference, which is the SEC has just filed some new paperwork speeding up the process for crypto ETFs to get approved. And Bloomberg is predicting that the Bitwise XRP spot product is next in line. So keep that in mind, guys. We could see Bitwise, a $5 billion asset manager, launching a spot ETF product. We also have Franklin Templeton on the precipice of getting their product approved. That is a $1.5 trillion asset manager. But here's the reference point and why this is so valid. Canary Capital only has $200 million in assets under management. The company alone saw over $240 million worth of inflows just from people buying their ETF yesterday. And you heard me correct. I'm going to report this. XRP saw $240 million worth of inflows, $245 million to be exact, on this Canary Capital ETF. When a product like Grayscale, Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, ProShares, WisdomTree, every single other asset manager that is filed is more than triple, quadruple. We're talking 30, 40, 50 times the size of the company, right? That's the type of massive demand that we're looking at. And Mikkel made a great point yesterday. Shout out to Mikkel. Shout out to Zach Rector. Those are two content creators that I try to watch on a daily basis. He stated that if you look at the social media poll, a company like Van Eyck has over 100,000 followers on Twitter, decides not to launch an ETF. Company like Canary Capital only has 11,000 followers on Twitter, only 200 million in assets under management, and they could pull in over $250 million worth of inflows on day one of this product going live. They also went on, someone said, Jan, where's the price prediction? Guys, listen, if we've learned anything about price predictions in the last 6 months, it's that nobody really has a crystal ball. They may buy them on eBay, they may put one on their desk, but nobody has one that provides accurate price predictions for the crypto market. Now, I've said it for time and time again. We need these ETFs to go live. We need the Clarity Act to be passed. And as these catalysts move on, it's looking like 2026 could be fairly bullish. I guess the question that we have to ask ourselves, and I'm going to ask the live chat right now, are you bullish or are you bearish? Do you think we're in a bear market, or are we creating a higher low here at that $90,000 price target? One's in chat for bullish, two's in chat for bearish. Now, bearish once again means you think we're going into a bear market. And I would tell you guys, that's not what I'm seeing in the price charts. Now, people out there are becoming more and more bearish by the day, but I'm going to focus on Bitcoin, and then we're going to get into XRP, because if you look at what XRP is doing right now, it's actually holding up extremely well compared to Bitcoin, kind of what the asset has done thus far. And I do want to give a big thank you for the live donation, $5 from XXQXX and a member in chat. Shout out to you, my friend. Some ETFs are going live next week, right? That's the exact topic that I'm going to break down next, because what we could see next week is Bitwise, Grayscale, Franklin Templeton, and because Canary Capital went live this week, Canary Capital all be live and trading by the end of next Friday. That would be 4 companies, but what's more important about that is that Bitwise, Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton all have over $5 billion in assets under management. Franklin Templeton has over $1.5 trillion in assets under management. These companies are almost as large as a BlackRock, right? Maybe not quite the size. BlackRock's more like 8-12 trillion. But if you really look at what WisdomTree is a top 20 company in America that is going to be launching a spot ETF product. But let's just do some very simple TA for the newer investors here, in case you're wondering what's really happening on the Bitcoin price chart. And maybe, just maybe, guys, if you were buying the highs a couple of weeks ago, this could be an opportunity for you to get some access to lower prices on your favorite assets. I do want to give another thank you to the member in chat, Easy Crypto, $4.99, Massive thank you for the $5. He said, been out of town for my dad's funeral and missed the show. Keeps me grounded. Thank you, GEC. Thank you so much. Thoughts and prayers for your father, my friend. He's in a better place. That's what I believe, like we always say. But 10 minutes in, if you're enjoying this content, reminder, smash that like button. And a big thank you to another member, Bailey Holt in chat, just became our 167th member. Big shout out to the best community in all of crypto. And let's give condolences to Easy in chat. Shout out to you, my friend. Thoughts and prayers are with you as well. Hope you're keeping your head up. When we look at what's happening here with the Bitcoin price chart, just to kind of change gears, we had a higher low created at about $77,000, $78,000. Now, why is that important for people to watch right now? Because if you look at the lows that were being created here, this is actually a key level of support. We were trading at this $92,000 range and back tested this twice before falling through in, I believe, the month of July. So keep an eye on that 92,000. And I did see Gonzo was in chat as well. Massive shout out and thank you to Gonzo. I think he's done some phenomenal work in preparing people for this current pullback. Now, he was estimating somewhere between, I think, $98,000 to $95,000. We touched $94,000. And I had a lot of people texting and calling me yesterday. And I was saying just what I'm doing personally. I took the time to get a little bit allocated, right? How can I say this more politely? I like to buy the dips. That's my favorite thing to do. If I see red days, if I see Bitcoin trading at 125,000 now, less than 100K, I'm going to get allocated to that asset. And again, Gonzo's spot on with this stuff. So give Gonzo a shout out in chat, hashtag Super G. I want to give a big shout out to him for being always accurate and optimistic, guys. So big shout out to Gonzo. Now, if we look at what XRP's price chart is doing during this exact same time, I got to say, and people are going to be surprised by this, we are seeing this hold up very well. Now, why are we seeing that? Several reasons. My belief is not only are these ETF products going live, but people know ETF demand, institutional demand, everything is kind of lining up perfectly for the company and Ripple and XRP. I've got a new Michael Novogratz clip that I'm going to show you as well. I've got a ton of content. I don't know if we're even going to be able to get through all this content during today's show, guys. But if you're enjoying this content, over 1,200 watching on YouTube. Shout out to you guys for finding the channel, and a massive thank you to everybody who's been watching and supporting this channel. It's been so awesome to see all the people who find us and give us positive feedback. And one thing I can promise you, whether we're going into a bull market or we're going into a bear market, I'm going to continue to give you daily updates every day live, 11 a.m. Eastern time, and the 5:30 p.m. updates in the short form content. Richard, big shout out to you for the 589 in chat and another member. You're the best. Everything will be great after the Clarity Act pass. $50 screenshot it. Thanks, Abs. Great show as always. Now, listen, I don't know if I'm in that $50 camp, but I can promise you I'm in that $5 camp for sure. And I'm going to break that down a little bit as we go through this. But here's what I can say. I referenced this earlier. Abs, what about the support at $74,000? We're holding. Let me go back to Bitcoin, and sorry for jumping all over, but we'll go Bitcoin here. I'll summarize this, and then we'll get into XRP. What I just referenced is this $90,000 to $89,000 range is very, very important for Bitcoin. And we didn't fall through that yesterday, even though it was a total collapse, complete chaos from a lot of people's perspective. What I see here, Bitcoin backtesting, FUD comes out. There's a huge article going around this morning, and it is a fake news article that said Michael Saylor is currently selling his Bitcoin. What's actually happening here is they're moving that Bitcoin to institutional wallets. So they're moving Bitcoin around. They are not dumping Bitcoin on the open market. So if you saw that news and you thought it was real, you can report it here on Good Evening Crypto. That is fake news. And I think there's only one way to call that out.
Well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You fake news.
Fake news. And a big shout out to Self-Centered. Yep, that's how you say that name. New member in chat. That's an interesting username. Shout out to you, my friend. Help the community. What are you going to do? You can't just live for yourself. But let's get into Bitcoin. So again, Bitcoin went down, back tested $94,000, and we saw a lot of institutional demand. We know for sure that there are tons of buyers stepping in and ready to buy at $89,000 to $90,000 because that's what happened all throughout the summer. And I do apologize. I'm going to sneeze. I have to play this clip. Give me one second.
Well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You fake news.
Excuse me, guys. Sorry about that. That's one of the problems with the solo dolo. If I got to sneeze, if I got to cough, I got to play the Trump clip. You don't know nothing. But how does this impact XRP? Well, here's what we're witnessing for XRP. We had this ridiculous liquidation event, and we're looking at the weekly chart here because I think this is a great chart to look at to get a good reference point of where we're at right now. So XRP currently has been trading down since early July. We created that high at about $3.60 in early July. We didn't get a weekly close there above 345. So the highest weekly close we got, 344 in July for 2025. That's all time. That's not just this bull market. That is the highest ever weekly close for XRP. From that point, it's been diminishing supply and demand. And what's the reason for that? Well, Bitcoin has been on a steady decline as well. When you look at the Bitcoin chart, Bitcoin had a bullish September, but besides that, it has been down and to the right. And I think what we really need here, and Gonzo's made some great points to this as well. So shout out to Super G once again. And I am going to get to this super chat. Big thank you. But what we really need to see is Bitcoin get daily closures above 108,000. I think he says 110. I'm going to go as low as 108. If we can get some weekly closures above $108,000 for Bitcoin, that's when we're going to know we've reversed the trend. So that doesn't necessarily mean we have to see that to go up. It's going to be a stairway up to that price now. We're $15,000 below that price target. But if we start to get weekly and daily closures above 108,000, that lets us know this bearish momentum has been reversed, and we can anticipate that another higher high is in the works. And look at the XRP price chart. We are using all this trading from mid-2025, from the month of February all the way into June as a support right now. We were down as low as $1.90, $1.59 during that time. But as you can tell, the real support was about $2.20. Well, what is XRP doing now? We've traded down and to the right. We're in this very bearish channel. But after we close above this 268, which I referenced yesterday, we could see some bullish momentum. So it's 108,000 for Bitcoin, and it's $2.68 for XRP. Those are two price targets that I'm keeping an eye on. So I hope for all the bears in chat, listen, if you're a bear and you shorted the market, congratulations, you're making money. But I don't think we're in a bear market yet, guys. And I may be wrong on this, but I believe I'm correct, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. I see too many positive things happening for the industry. And the Bitwise CEO actually put out a tweet about this that I had pulled up prior, if I can find it for you all, where he talked about every time people predict the bull market's over and they get it wrong. So whatever, I can't find it for you guys, but I do want to address the live chat as well. Big thank you for the $4.99. I just saw an XRP documentary on Amazon about the SEC and saw you and the channel on it. Pretty awesome. Keep up the good work. Yes, I think that is Money Disrupted, guys. And that's a phenomenal project that I got to be a part of with Johnny Krypto, Coach JV, Digital Asset Investor. Everybody should go and check that out. Or is it not Money Disrupted? Money Disrupted might be the new one. So big thank you to you guys, and a big shout out to the producers who put that on. Matthew in chat, the newlywed, he said, Abs, thanks for being here daily, man. Waiting on these ETF inflows, baby. And we're going to get into some of the inflows that I'm predicting later on. But I do want to give a big shout out and thank you to both those donations. We appreciate every single one of you guys here. We're already at 1,400 live listeners on YouTube, 3,200 on all platforms. If you're enjoying this content, you like these solo dolo episodes, show us some love, smash that like button. We're already at 420 likes for the show. Shout out to the 420 community, guys. Big shout out to you. Now, one of the things that I think our listeners are most excited about is that the inflows have been turned on for the XRP ETFs. And this coincides perfectly with the insight that I showed you guys yesterday. Weekly trends and retail interest in XRP is hitting an all-time low. Think about that. Institutional interest is hitting an all-time high. Retail interest is hitting an all-time low. Who do you think is going to be right in this equation? The people who do this 24/7 or the people who do this on the side? Now, I'm also a retail investor. So let me just be clear. I am bullish, but most retail investors are scared right now. And I'm laughing at the live chat, guys, so I apologize if I'm getting a little disconnected there. But you're making some great points where you say, everybody on X, everybody on Twitter who showed up to this market less than 12 months ago, they think they know what's going to happen. But the veteran crypto investors, even people like Scott Melker, who have been here since 2017, 2018, these people are bullish. These people understand we are in a bull market, and this market is set to go up and to the right. I'd like to hear once again, one's in chat if you're bullish, two's in chat if you're bearish. I'm sure there's people out there who disagree with me, and I appreciate that you listen to this program as well. Big thank you to our brand new member, Jonathan XRP Army. Welcome in, my friend. Shout out to you. We appreciate you. Chad Send Records. It's like 5 days in a row Chad's donated. Big thank you to you, my friend, and a member in chat. Markets go up and markets go down. How they work, says JV. This news is super bullish. I completely agree, guys. I mean, listen, Coach JV knows what he's doing. I follow a lot of the principles that Coach JV talks about financially as well. And when you think about who wins in these markets, it's not people who think they time the top and time the bottom. It's people who say, I'm buying this asset and I'm holding 10 years. I know what I own. And that's what our community does here on Good Evening Crypto, guys. So if you don't know what you own, you're going to be scared. You're going to be like these retail investors who come in and think we're going to 589 and then run away and tell people we're going to zero. That's not how successful investors operate in this market. How successful investors operate is they know what they hold, they do their own research, and they draw their own conclusions. And we understand we're in some sort of an echo chamber. There's a confirmation bias here. As Bitcoin investors want the price to go up. XRP investors want the XRP price to go up. But we look for definitive, objective, what's the word I'm looking for? Catalysts. We're looking for catalysts here. And we can point to those catalysts and say those will drive more money into our project. So that's pretty much where my head's at. Big thank you to Eric M as well, another new member of the Good Evening Crypto community. We're quickly going to pass like 170 members, guys. You guys really are the best community in all of crypto. I brag about this live chat. I brag about our community all the time, not because of what I do, because of how cool you guys are, because of how many great people have found this community and really resonate with a lot of things that we say here on a daily basis. I do want to give a shout out to Ashish Burla as well. Now, here's what I was thinking, guys. I reached out to Ashish Burla for an interview, and he did follow me back, but he didn't respond to the DM. I think I'm going to tag him in a tweet. If you guys see me do that and you want to help me out, maybe get Ashish Burla as a guest on this show so we can ask him some questions, comment underneath the tweet that I end up posting. I do want to remind you all as well. Someone said, you're right. I'm so effing cool. The whole community is. It's just true. It's not about each individual. Collectively, each individual is amazing. Collectively, guys, we're an outstanding group. It's pretty awesome, especially how consistent we are here. People in other communities, I think they get caught up in some of the daily price action. But because we're focused on narratives, we're focused on real world development, we're focused on catalysts, it's so much easier to be a long-term investor. So big shout out to you. And we did just get 2 more memberships. Thank you to Sam and thank you to Dirt Nap Defense. That's a great one. Thank you to you both, guys. Appreciate both of you becoming members of the Good Evening Crypto community. And you can remember this as well. Someone said, I would love to share the astrology chart. I did see your DM. Let me get back to you later this afternoon. I want to be a man of my word there. The Astro Logos. I'm going to answer your DM later this afternoon. You have my word. What I was going to say is that for members, we are doing Sunday morning updates for members, which is a 5-minute update, just kind of highlighting what we're looking for on the weekly close, some of the things that we're keeping an eye on for that Sunday night close. So that being said, guys, I think I've said a lot. I am going to play a very brief video here just to buy me about 60 seconds. I'm going to sip some water and then we'll dive into this content. This is Ripple's CEO, Brad Garlinghouse, talking about why crypto ETFs are a game changer. Here's what Brad had to say.
I'm definitely hurt, but also excited that I was overlooked for years before being on here, but now here I am. Hi.
And Charles, you're the man. Thank you for those 5 memberships.
1 minute on why are people excited about crypto ETFs. I think there's 2 main factors going on here. One is, for the longest time, institutional investors primarily trading on Wall Street, really haven't been able to access crypto directly. Their options were to either self-custody, onboard with an exchange, and some people don't like centralized exchanges for a whole host of reasons. So this was really the first time you had institutions be able to go on Wall Street and trade directly in crypto. This is an unlock for a couple of reasons. For capital that couldn't come in, whether it's an endowment, whether it's a pension fund, even mutual funds that didn't or couldn't access crypto, now they can. The second thing is, it really is institutionalizing the entire industry of crypto. I think it should be no surprise that the Bitcoin ETF was the fastest ETF ever to get to $1 billion in assets. I think it passed 10 billion in assets faster than anyone as well. And today is, I think, will eventually close in on the gold ETF, and that's in 1 minute.
Boom, there you have it, guys. And Brad pretty much very clearly explains, and I did just get a response on Twitter. I'm going to have to check live on air. But if you guys would like to have Ashish Burla on the program, smash that like button and let me know in chat. One's in chat if you want Ashish Burla, the CEO of Evernorth, to join us here on Good Evening Crypto. I think we can make it happen. The fact that he followed us back, he liked a couple tweets. He didn't answer the DM, but I'm going to be consistent for you guys if there's that demand. We do have Jake Claver joining us on the show Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time. So Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern time, November 18th, only 4 days from today, Jake Claver will be joining us for a live interview where you guys get to ask him all the questions that I'm sure that you have. And I got to make sure I shout out all the people who just became members. Massive thank you to Charles for gifting 5 memberships. Now, I'm like a boomer, guys. I'm still figuring out what it even means to have gifted memberships. So if somebody can explain that to me in chat, that'd be awesome. But Big thank you to you, Charles. I really appreciate that. Terry Anderson, brand new member. We've got Horace or something becoming a new member. Can't pronounce your name. And Richard just gifted another membership. Thank you so much, guys. Really appreciate all the support. And like I said, it really does go a long way on this channel. It's so motivating that you guys are here every single day, willing to spend time with me and enjoy the same topics that I'm discussing. Now, Brother Broski commented, massive thank you for the $4.99. Do your push-ups, practice gratitude, give back and support your community. Build mind, spirit, body before price moves so you can stay calm as tides rise. I could not say it any better myself. Someone said give out 5 memberships for free. I would love to give out. I'll give out some memberships, but I just don't know how to do it exactly. It's kind of funny to say. I mean, I can type it into ChatGPT and figure it out over the weekend, guys, but I don't know how to do it live on air. So I'd love to give it. Somebody wants to, maybe there's somebody out there who doesn't want to do the $4.99, but would love to be a member. I'd love to give some out. Maybe I'll do that on the Jake Claver stream. You have my word, guys. I'll try to figure it out before then. But here's what's important. Starting on Tuesday, obviously Jake Claver is going to be on the show. Next week, we could have Bitwise, Grayscale, and Franklin Templeton all have their ETFs approved. This is way bigger. Let me just say that as exaggerated as I can. It is so much bigger than what we saw yesterday with Canary Capital. Canary Capital is a $200 million company. Bitwise is a $5 billion company. That is 30 times the size. Now think about this. You know what this reminds me of? You guys ever seen those videos where they show you space and they always zoom out and there's a bigger sun and there's a bigger sun and there's a bigger sun? That's kind of like what we're looking at here with the ETFs, where you have a $200 million company and then 30 times the size at $5 billion is Bitwise. You also have Grayscale, which is 8 times the size of Bitwise, which is 30 times the size of Canary. Then you also have Franklin Templeton, which I can't even do the mental math of what 40 billion would be of 1.5 trillion, but we're talking some number less than 10% here. So really, really interesting to see how these huge companies are going to launch these products. And why is that relevant? These companies have millions of clients all across America. They're going to get on the phone. They're going to send the emails. They're going to funnel people into the XRP ETF. And that is going to create more institutional demand for people like ourselves who have been here for a really long time. Massive thank you to Shawnee Ray, another member of the Good Evening Crypto community. D to the T. I like that name right there. D to the T. Thank you for becoming a member. That's a great username as well. Verhoofty, we love and appreciate you. Verhoofty's been here. Verhoofty is a legend. He said, Abs would be a legend if he just, I didn't read that comment. I did not read that comment. So Verhoofty, you did me dirty there. I don't know how to say it any other way. I would not have put that up on screen. I do love Jake. Someone said, stop changing your narrative. You say hold for 10 years, then plug Merlin, saying you have to lock in profits. Come on, son. You must be a new listener. Just because I'm holding 80% of my assets for the next 10 years doesn't mean I can't take 20% profit during this bull market. Is there anything more that needs to be said? Right? Someone said, Abs 50 bailed you out. You guys are hilarious. But is there anything? I hope that's not confusing for you guys. Let's just go with the numbers to make it really simple. If I have $100,000 worth of XRP and XRP goes up 10x, and now I'm sitting on $1 million, and I sell 20% of my XRP, does that make me a bear? Or does that mean I have a life to live and bills to pay? And I think that's the kind of realistic perception we like to provide here. I think it is healthy and smart for retail investors to take a small amount of profit when they've made a whole bunch of money in this market. You guys, I listen to Coach JV, you listen to Digital Asset Investor, you listen to all these people. Everybody talks about taking a small amount of profit. There's nothing wrong. That doesn't make you a bear. And that's a mistake that I made when I first got into the digital asset space. Here's what I would say, and then we'll move on in reference to that. If you have a very small amount of XRP, let's say you have 100 tokens. I don't think the idea should be wait for 589. I think the idea should be accumulate as many tokens as possible. But somebody who has 10,000 XRP tokens, well, then you might be looking at an asset that you're able to take 20% profit on and still have $80,000 worth of exposure in the crypto space. I did see we have Mar-a-Lago Mario joining us in chat. Shout out to the Mar-a-Lago man himself. Mario, text me right now if you're available. You let me know. We're got Mar-a-Lago joining us here soon, guys. I don't want to put him on the spot. I love Mario. So if he's in chat and he wants to say hello, Mario is always available here. And everybody knows Mar-a-Lago Mario. He got the inside scoop on the Trump administration. I think we could use some of that insight. I don't want to have to hit him with the fake news clip, but
Well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You fake news.
over this weekend, guys, I'm going to add a couple more edits and things like that so I can incorporate them during the live show. I've got a hilarious Michael Saylor clip that I'm going to be, and Mario just texted me. Perfect, bro. Thank you so much, Mario. I'm going to play this Michael Saylor clip where it's hilarious, but we got to go through some of the news today as well. Give me 1 second, guys. You know what? I got to play a video so I can send Mario the link in the background. So I apologize. Bear with me. We're going to play a clip that I think you guys are going to find interesting. It's 1 minute. Here's Brad Garlinghouse talking about XRP ETFs.
You look at what's happening around the ETFs. Because, again, the headwinds and tailwinds, because we've had these headwinds, some aspects around XRP have been behind other L1s. That's now catching up. You're seeing inflows into existing ETFs. You're seeing more ETFs go live. You're seeing more talk about this new category we call the digital asset treasury, the kind of micro strategy spin-offs, if you will, not literally, but kind of similar things. I think it's just going to continue to create a lot of tailwinds where XRP has been held back. I'm optimistic that through the balance of the year and beyond, when you're artificially held back, I used the analogy one time publicly, like if you hold a balloon underwater long enough, of course it pops up when you let go of it. And so we saw that happening over the next 6 months, but now we're seeing a lot of the organic and in some case inorganic through Ripple's acquisitions, things pushing the industry, the community forward, the XRP ecosystem forward that I think should really have a positive impact.
Guys, someone asked, is Mario still bald in chat? I don't know where these fake news, fake rumors are coming from. Mario has never been bald. You're thinking of my boy, Johnny Krypto, and shout out to Johnny Krypto. We are 30 minutes into the show for today. We got over 4,400 listeners here. I just sent Mario the link. I think he's going to be jumping on any moment. And you know what, Mario? You jumped in. Oh, wait, he's having some tech issues. We're going to get him available here in the next 30 seconds or so. But I am going to take you guys through a Michael Saylor article while Mario gets connected in the background. Because what's the news that's going on today? People were saying that Michael Saylor is dumping Bitcoin. And this is incorrect reporting that we're seeing here across all social media. Boom, there he is. Mario, now, first of all, here's the thing. There's fake allegations in chat. Somebody was calling you bald. I don't know where that came from. I see you went to Turkey. You got a new head of hair. I want to congratulate you on that and welcome you back into the program. How you feeling this morning? Thank you for being here, Mario.
Feeling good, Abs. Good morning, everybody. This is definitely awesome to be back. It's super special. I don't know why the rumors started about me being bald, but probably because I was wearing a hat all the time. I mean, just because you wear a hat does not automatically label you as a bald person. I mean, I did kind of we're all, as we get older, some people get a little bit balder. My hair definitely thinned out a little bit, but I am not bald, guys. Got plenty of hair. But super good to see you, Ab. Super good to see everybody in the chat. It's really nice to be on here again. It's been a really long time, bro.
So Mario, also, I guess I'm just going to give you news on air as well. I did end up booking my Florida trip for the first week of December. So I'll see you in the first week of December. That has nothing to do with crypto. But here's the important thing too, guys. Since Mario's here, let's get some of your sentiment. One of the things that we're seeing on social media is people are calling for the bear market. And what I've been trying to do here is tell people time and time again, retail typically gets it wrong. And there's a few examples of this. One, the XRP ETFs launched. We're going to have the inflows working to our advantage going forward. Two, Bitcoin's determining the price action for the time being. And look at what Bitcoin's done in the short term. Bitcoin has been crashing and XRP has held up fairly well. Number three, when you look at retail interest, meaning how much are they engaging with XRP content on social media, it's at the lowest level it's been at since this bull market began last year in 2024. So all those different things, combine that with the catalysts and the fact that the Fed is cutting rates and we're moving from quantitative tightening to quantitative easing, everything kind of points to me thinking retail's getting it wrong. What are some of your thoughts overall? And then what are you anticipating here for, maybe the next few months?
Well, that is the question of the moment. Everybody's trying to guess/predict what the market's going to do here short term. There's a lot of confluence as far as opinions and as far as data. It's almost like, we were discussing this a few weeks ago while we're still doing the other live, that there's data that kind of proves both scenarios. There's data that proves that we should still continue to be on the bull run. And there's data that proves that we're potentially entering a bear market. The reality is none of us know. All we can do is just take an educated guess at what's going to happen here in the next few weeks. For me personally, again, I don't think that I've shared this publicly, but I de-risked a little bit a few weeks back, just because I started to weigh it for me personally. I started to weigh that decision on whether it was worth continuing to risk the exposure that I had in the market. And for me, it came from a position of being in the space for a really long time, having accumulated a lot of the XRP that I did around the 30-cent range. And so for me, it was like, am I going to be more mad at myself if we enter a bear market and I don't at least take a little bit off the table? And the decision came down to the answer being yes. So I decided to de-risk a little bit, because at the end of the day, none of us really know. Again, there's so much good data that tells us we could be continuing the bull run, and seeing the market the way it is now with the fear and greed index and all these different indicators and people just being extremely pessimistic at this point tells us that we should be reaching some sort of a bottom. But that's typically how the start of a bear market can feel as well. So I don't know, man. Like we're in for the ride. The good thing that I like to focus on is that long term, this thing is going to be nothing. And long term, we're going to go up. And long term, $95,000 for Bitcoin is going to look like a bottom at some point, and $2.33 for XRP is going to look like a bottom. Because what matters is that we're still so early in this crypto grand scheme of things, and we still haven't even gotten regulation. We still haven't really gotten the full adoption that we anticipate the crypto space is going to have. So focus on the grand scheme. The short term is just noise. But again, if you're trying to do something because it's important for your life, then try to process it that way. How are you going to feel one scenario versus the other, and then make that decision, stick to it, and know that you did the best you could with what you had.
It's perfect, Mario. I just gave a speech about this as well, where I just said, just because you take 20% profit doesn't make you a bear. That means you have bills to pay. That means you have a life to live, as we all do, guys. And that's why I advocate, click on the link below and sign up for Merlin. And I encourage everybody, if you'd like to take advantage of tax-free crypto gains, click on the ITrust Capital link below. Now, we used to have the promo code to get that $100 discount, but instead, all you need to do, click on the link below, sign up today. You can get tax-free gains in a Roth IRA as long as you hold for 5 years or you're over the age of 59. So huge respect, and big respect to Mario as well, because you know what's important, Mario, is providing what you're actually doing so people can follow some of the veteran moves in this market. I think more newer investors are fearful than veteran investors. And you've probably seen this in your personal life as well, where it's the people who have been here since 2021 that aren't really sweating right now, but the people who showed up in 2024 or 25, those are the ones who are nervous. Those are the ones who are waiting for either $200,000 Bitcoin, or they think this asset's going back to 20K. And so the truth is somewhere in between. Maybe we go on to create a higher high, and I'm anticipating there's more bullish momentum coming to the back end of the year. Mario, I want to give you a chance to kind of comment on the XRP ETF as well. This is a brief clip of Scott Melker talking on his podcast about what they were anticipating yesterday. Now, we saw Bloomberg predict $17 million in day one inflows. We saw $56 million in volume, $246 million in inflows. Huge demand, huge numbers, and the XRP community really wasn't surprised. But when you think about what's happening, Johnny Krypto has joined the chat. My boy, Johnny Krypto. Johnny Krypto, how you feeling? Listen, it's funny. People are bearish. I know you're not feeling that way.
Absolutely not. I'm feeling great. It's Friday. We got Mario in the house. Good morning to all the warrior crypto maniacs out there. Love and appreciate you guys. Absolutely. You know what, man? I know everybody's freaking out. Everybody's panicking. Everybody wants 589. And you know what? I just know this. I know what I own. I know what I hold. I know where it's going in the future. And you know what? I guess I was old enough to watch Karate Kid. Very famous words. Daniel-san. Must have a patience. That's all I can tell everybody. You guys got to have patience. I see everybody out there panicking and worrying. And, we didn't get all this and that. Guys, relax. Listen, let me ask all you this. 4 years ago, absolutely, when you and Mario 4 years ago, when you bought XRP, did you buy it because an ETF was on the horizon?
No.
Exactly. So what changed? Nothing. Fundamentally, we know the technology's out. In fact, if you kind of rewind 4 years ago and look where we are today, we had a lawsuit on our back. Ripple couldn't get any jobs. All the posting for jobs are outside the country. Nobody wanted to talk to them. Nobody was knocking on their door. Fast forward 4 years later, the phones are ringing off the hook for them. They've got more business in 6 months than they've had in 4 years. I mean, everything has changed. The price chart is 4x higher, 5x higher than we were. Just everybody just needs to take a deep breath, relax, get off of the XRP ETF train, and just understand you didn't get in this for ETFs. You got in this. Let me remind everybody, we all got in this because we know, shout out to you, Kama Manunga, or however you say that. We all know we're getting on, we're getting off. That's hilarious. Wax on the wax off. I love that. We got the best chat in the world. But everybody was here for one reason, and then everybody forgot why they were here, and everybody just wanted to get rich overnight quick scheme. And guys, that's not how this space works. So relax, take a deep breath, go outside, walk barefoot on some grass, enjoy life, and trust me, a few years from now, you're all going to be looking back at this moment and going, oh, I'm glad I hung in there. Because, I mean, I feel the same way like 96, 97, 98. There's bullet periods of time. And right now, it's just one of those things where we are going through that phase. And don't forget, Abs, the biggest event still has not happened yet. We have not gotten the Clarity Act, which really is the linchpin that creates liquidity that comes in to innovate in this space. And we hear, I'm not the only one saying it now. You're hearing the whole world talk about it, right? Because the world understands that that's kind of the missing link that we're waiting for. So now we got to keep our eye on when that happens. But with that said, yeah, I'm very happy. I'm ready to just rock and roll, be patient, and let it happen.
Well, guys, you know we have the legend in chat, the 1970s legend with another $100 dono for the GEC guys. We love and appreciate you all. Now, listen, 1970s legend, he became an official historic legend of our community on Tuesday when he came in with the $500 donation, breaking records. Huge thank you and shout out to the 1970s legend. And he said, as Aaron Rodgers once said, relax. Now, Johnny, as a Steelers fan, I'm sure that feels pretty great. So shout out to you. Shout out to the 1970s legend. And you know what, guys? Yesterday, Johnny, how funny was that? During the slip up, somebody commented on the episode. I meant to say, and I told you this last night when I go, Johnny, we've been waiting a long time. And instead I said, Johnny, you've been alive a long time. I'm like, I think this is one of the people who noticed that as well. So shout out to 1970s legend. You are a legend. And you guys know we did just launch the Johnny Krypto emoji for members in chat. So type in Johnny Krypto. You can see those hilarious emojis pop up if you're interested. But I just want to give Johnny a chance to kind of comment on this, and we'll dive into our topics. What we're going to get into next, just so you know, two things that I have to break down. SEC speeding up the ETF process, and Michael Saylor, fake news, selling Bitcoin this morning. So we're going to talk about that. Floor is yours, Johnny.
Yeah, no, absolutely. First of all, shout out to Legend and shout out to Aaron Rodgers. Everybody just needs to relax. That's probably the perfect word to be right there. And abs, we got to get some more emojis. And you go, don't worry, we're going to have a whole collection of abs emojis. I was working on a bunch last night and I can't wait. It's so much fun. But anyway, it is definitely one of those things where I'm totally excited of where we're headed. A lot of breaking news. I still think that at the end of the day, our community, I was kind of proud when we did that poll and we saw that our community, their expectations were tempered. They kind of understood like, hey, you know what? I'm not looking for this thing to skyrocket. And to me, that actually made me feel really good that I think that it's a testament to this channel and what we're trying to help people understand is that, look, at the end of the day, we're not always going to be right either. But when we kind of started realizing, Abs, if you remember, I saw a lot of people like, oh, you guys predict this thing was going to go up. What we said was we thought a lot of these things were going to happen at the same time. And when we started realizing that, oh, that isn't going to be the case, we started telling you right away, like, hey, man, we're starting to temper our expectations. You should too. And I think most people did. And I'm very, very proud of this community for doing that. So with that said, with that said, I just think that now it's just a matter of keep your eye on the site where we want to go forward. Mario kind of said it best. We don't know where this thing is going. Now, Abs, let me say this. Do I think we're going in the bear market? I personally don't think so. But I love when I look at the fear and greed index and I see all the way down. Like we are in such fear mode right now. The sentiment is horrible out there. Everybody's disappointed. And Bitcoin's still over 100K. Right? So
it's not, though. It's not.
Well, it's close. You know what I'm saying? Like 98, whatever. Point being is we're not at 60. We're not at 50. You know what I mean? In crypto, in XRP, it's at 230. It's not at 50 cents. That's my point is, and I'm not even sure we're ever going to see those kind of levels again going that low. So I would just, I still think I just keep going back to the Banana Zone speech that, that we played here on this show, Raul Paul. I feel like we're in that 35% pullback where he literally said, and I don't know if you got the video play, but I'll repeat it. He literally says, Mario, he says, you will think we're in a bear market. You'll think it's over, he says, right? Well, what does everybody feel right now? Everybody thinks it's over. And what did he say? It's not. It's going to go up one other leg. And I kind of just can't help but feel like that's what we're in right now, because that's what it feels like. And everybody's saying that. And I'm thinking, nope, we still got one more big banana zone leg to go up. And so that's what we're going to see. And yes, it is going to be happy birthday month soon for Abs in December. Can't wait, my friend. Oh, yeah. He's going to be what, 22? What do you turn on? 23?
Wow, no, come on. You know, I'm a modest 32.
Yeah, there you go. That's it.
I'm kidding, guys. Does anybody know my real age in chat? Comment my age if you know it. Also, comment Johnny and Mario's ages as well. Let's see what people think.
Oh, my God. This is going to be
Johnny
hilarious.
Krypto, this may be a humbling experience, my friend, but I want to give a shout out to Mario. Mario, massive thank you. I don't know if we can talk about this, but I feel like it's okay to talk about the XRP Investor thing, if that's okay, Mario. I just want to get a quick head nod. Okay, so guys, Mario did launch something very, very cool, something that I'm going to be incorporating into our program. Yes, I'll be turning 28. Shout out to chat. You guys are the best. And Johnny Krypto will be turning 72. They're spot on. What the heck's going on here? You guys are
72.
Awesome.
Holy cow. Jesus Christ.
Listen, you're handsome for 72. I'll take the compliment. That's all I'll say.
Take that too. Yeah.
Right? That's a win, Johnny Krypto.
No
Shout out
doubt about it. Absolutely. I'm really 100. I'm really 102, Abs. Don't tell anybody. All right.
Someone said Abs is 38. Damn, that's messed up, guys.
Yeah.
Mario, sorry, I did get caught off guard. So Mario created something very cool. It's called the XRP Investor. We're going to be dropping it live on air. This is something that one of the things that I've said time and time again. Why do I plug ITrust? I use it. Why do I plug Merlin? I use it. Why am I going to be talking about XRP Investor? Because I'm going to use it on our program. Mario, kudos to you for creating something great here. And what it is it's basically a one-stop shop for all XRP content and information. If you have it pulled up in the background and you're comfortable, feel free to share that, Mario. I'm not trying to put you on the spot, so I do apologize. We didn't get to talk about this beforehand, guys. But Mario, if you'd like to, okay, perfect. Perfect, Johnny. Oh, that's Johnny in private chat. Johnny's talking about the emojis. So guys, let's stay focused. I apologize. We're talking about the XRP Investor because Mario is going to be launching this product, or it's already launched. And what it's going to do is it's going to be a one-stop shop for all content, right? All XRP content. What is it talking about? Inflows, fear and greed, where people are buying and selling, important ranges to watch, XRP related news, all of this stuff kind of being launched in one location. And like I said, we talk about Merlin because we use it. We talk about ITrust because we use it. This is another product that I'm going to be using on this show. So I wanted to kind of give Mario a chance to showcase that. What do they say, Mario? That's what friends are for. That's the saying that I'm looking for, guys. So shout out to Mario for creating something great. And we're going to pull it up and show you guys on screen right now. Now, Johnny, leave the comments for just a moment here while we go through this. And Mario, feel free to kind of show us what's relevant and why this is so cool.
Well, I appreciate that. So yeah, I actually put out this product early this week. I did sort of like a soft launch. I just let some people know about it. Yesterday, I made my first X post about it as well, sharing the fear and greed index. So this is, like Ab said, this is going to be a place or a platform where you're going to be able to find everything XRP related. And the goal for this platform is to be the single center of truth for everything XRP related. So right now it's a little bit on the beginner stages. So this is anybody that actually signs up for it now, you can get a free account. You can pay to get access to the advanced analytics. I'll show you guys in just a second, but you'll be part of what I call the Genesis subscriber. So if you subscribe between now and the end of the year, you will be a Genesis subscriber, meaning that your rate is going to be locked in forever. So regardless of extra features that get added in the future, you will always be paying the same amount. So for right now, the things that are live is you're able to get access to these XRP analytics dashboard. And in here, you can see the current price, market cap, 24-hour volume, circulating supply, the XRP dominance, velocity, but we give you an XRP specific fear and greed index. So this is not your regular crypto market fear and greed index. This is an XRP specific fear and greed index. There is also the crypto market one, but by default, you'll be able to see it. And this is where I ended up sharing yesterday on X. And I did get actually a couple of people that sign up. So that was really cool to see. But the other thing that's really cool is that we give you 10 market sentiment indicators to give you a sense of how the market's currently reacting to XRP from various different stances. So price score, volatility, volume, impulse, technical, social media, dominance, search trends, whales, and order book. And then the other thing that you can do is you can keep track of the price chart, the market cap, and market cap dominance. Those are the things you can do on here, as well as doing some alerts. And we give you the latest and greatest news that are happening for Ripple and XRP right now. The really cool thing is, Abs, that within the next few days, I am gearing up to put more stuff here in the analytics. There's actually 3 main things that are in the works right now, and I'll let everybody know what they are. So the number one is an institutional adoption tracker. What that means is that we're going to be able to track all of the institutional adoption that's taking place for Ripple and XRP. The next thing that you're going to be able to do is something very similar to the XRP rich list. You're going to be able to see the accounts that hold the most amount of XRP, who they belong to, and you'll be able to get those stats, much like the stuff that people love to watch as far as the XRP rich list. And then I'm also in the works to introduce whale alerts. So you'll be able to see and receive alerts, if you wish to, when there's a significant amount of XRP that gets moved. That is just some of the stuff that's in the works. The other really cool thing, that this was actually an idea from Abs, and I'm definitely going to be implementing it, I'm just waiting for data to become available, is the ETF. It's going to be an ETF tracker. So you're going to be able to see the inflows, outflows, and volume that all of the different XRP ETFs are doing in the market. So yeah, I'm just super excited. Just soft launched this week. Haven't even really talked about it. So thanks, Abs, for bringing it up and for giving me an opportunity to show it to everybody.
Happy to do it, Mario. And let me be very clear. I'm not promoting this because we have an agreement. I have nothing to do with this project. I just know Mario created something great and I wanted to showcase it on the show for you guys. So if you want to check it out, head on over to thexrpinvestor.com. That is thexrpinvestor.com. I don't remember the price that you said, Mario, but guys, check it out today. And I think the most important thing is, once again, this is not a product where I'm selling it to you guys. This is just something that I am using, and I thought you would appreciate it. So I wanted to give Mario a chance to showcase this. And as you guys can tell, I think it says, is it free to start? So is it a free to trial or something, Mario?
It's actually free forever. So like if you start with the free account, you get access to the basic price analytics, you get access to the XRP specific for your ingredient index that I showed, and you get access to the news and insights, as well as a monthly email newsletter. If you pay for the premium, that's $6 a month, and that's the Genesis pricing that I was referring to. That's valid until the end of the year. January 1st, it's going to go up to $9, and then it is possible that prices could increase if I add more stuff to it. So obviously price would increase, but anybody that signs up until the end of the year, it's $6 forever, and you get access to those 10 sentiment indicators. You get access to the price charts, the custom price alerts, and a daily market report that's going to be going live at some point at the end of this month, as well as the 3 extra features that I just spoke about.
Shout out to Mario, guys. And that's just all I'm really trying to do here is give you guys products and tools that will help you be successful. And I love analytics. Johnny knows this. Every time that we're talking about YouTube or a company that we're working with, I'm always focused on, I want to get the analytics. I want to know what I'm doing correctly and what I'm doing wrong so I can fix that. Same thing with investing. Give me the analytics. Let me figure out these things on my own and make my own decision. I think that's what the XRP Investor can do for people. Remember, guys, check it out completely free. This goes to show you how little I know. I just saw the product and was like, this is a winner. I know these things. Johnny, I'm right about these things. I know I'm looking at a winner here with thexrpinvestor.com. So huge shout out to Johnny Krypto. Huge thank you to Mario. And Mario, this is something I'm going to be incorporating on my channel. So great job with creating the product. That's pretty much it, guys. Here's what I'd love to hear. I'd love to hear Mario give me a text and say we got 2, 3, 5 signups for him later on today. So thank you so much, Mario. We are 53 minutes into the episode, got over 5,500 watching. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button. If you didn't get a chance to, go check out my brand new XRP ETF video I released last night. I think you're going to find it extremely interesting. We go through the data. We go through the demand. Why isn't the price moving? We also answer that question. So go on, check it out. 5:30 p.m. Eastern time, I released it. As for this afternoon, I got some great stuff prepared. So big thank you. Johnny Krypto, any closing remarks for today?
You know what? I'm just so proud of you guys, man. I remember like when I met you guys, you were like both little puppies, little babies. You know, Abs had no hair. Mario's all clean shaven. He had 2 kids. And, you know, and just look at where you guys have evolved, where you are today. Somebody actually said it, you know, that you guys, we have a bunch of entrepreneurs here. And it's so true. I mean, just Abs, seeing what you've done with GMC and how you built it and grown it and now morphed it into GEC, and Mario, Mario's always innovating and creating cool, helpful things in the background. You know, things he's done for Merlin, things he's done here. And guys, I think this is a great tool. Mario, when you sent it to me yesterday, I started going through it right away. Look at the XRP fear and greed index, and it's just something that's not out there. It's really, really cool. And if you're an XRP lover, that tool is so awesome. And in fact, we might even have to integrate some of those things into Merlin, Mario. I'm gonna have to talk to you. But the point being is, it's so cool to be able to see you guys put things together. And I encourage everybody, try out the tool. There's a lot of things in there, and these kind of things. If you love this community and you want to support, it's a great way to support Mario and the things he's working on, and the abs as well. Keep smashing that like button and that subscribe button for GEC as well, guys. And make sure, if you want to keep all your crypto money, that you click on the link below and you get yourself a Roth IRA. I'm not telling you to do it because I'm telling you to do it. I'm telling you to do it because I do it. And that's how I'm abs. That's how I'm keeping my money. The majority of my money is a Roth IRA. You guys are both young enough, man. You guys, if you started growing some of your money in a Roth right now today, could you imagine how much tax-free money you're going to have when you guys are 59 and a half? Like, forget about it. It's going to be off the charts, right? And you're going to be like, what? I got all this money and I don't have to pay taxes? And that's because of the Roth IRA. And I love ITrust Capital abs because I can actually invest in crypto. There's not that many applications out there where you can create a Roth IRA and buy crypto and metals, by the way, precious metals, and be able to earn tax-free. So, hey, guys, give it a shot. Click the link below and let us know what you think.
Mario, what did I say? I said it's a winner. We already crashed the system with too many signups in one single moment. So shout out to you guys. I think Mario just confirmed 20 people went out there and clicked on the product. That's why I wanted to present it to you guys, because I knew people would find it interesting. So this is something that I'm going to be using. And again, I have no financial motivation to show you this. The only motivation is Mario created something great and I want people to have access to it. So shout out to Mario. Mario, is there any questions about that? Like, if people are getting error messages and things of that nature, is there anything you can say in regards to that?
Well, all I can say is that the product, that's why I wanted to do a soft launch. I was not expecting to come on here and talk about it. I knew that there was going to be a flood of people that were going to rush in, and that's why I wanted to just slowly here and there talk about it. Know there may be a handful of people were going to go in and get an account registered. So I'll definitely take a look in the background and see what's going on, guys. If you experience any issues trying to get into the system, I'll definitely resolve those issues, and just have a little patience and keep trying, I guess. Try again maybe in about an hour or two. But if you still experience anything further, you can reach out to support@thexrpinvestor.com, and I'll address those on a specific case scenario. But yeah, I really appreciate everybody that's jumped on there and even, created an account. Really appreciate that. And you definitely get all these stuff resolved. That's why I wanted to do a soft launch. Johnny knows better than me that creating technology is not easy. You think you have it all figured out, and then you put it out there and it's like, oh shoot. So thanks guys for liking it.
Here's the good news, Mario. There's always a good thing. Scaling up is always a big problem. As people hit the server, it crashes, right? And I'm sitting there thinking, like, that's a good problem to have. So you'll figure it out, and people will be there because Abs is amazing. And Abs, I love what you said. Like, the things you promote on this show is only because things you use, right? And that's it, guys. It's like, hey, if you want to kind of learn what we're doing and how we're trying to put ourselves ahead, right? Listen, the market's a very tough place to play, right? So you want to give yourself the edge wherever you can. And so we're just sharing with you guys the tools we use. Hopefully we're not boring you to death. If you find this stuff info helpful, please let us know so we can continue to share our lives and what we're doing to get ahead and buy lake houses and whatever the hell else you guys are buying over there.
And we ain't on that level yet. How about we just get financially free? Then we can start talking about Here we go, guys. I do want to give a big thank you to Mario and Johnny. I do have to run. It's 12:24, so I'm running a little bit late. We are 58 minutes into the program. If you enjoyed this content, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to give you an update every day. I do an 11 a.m. live. I do a 5:30 p.m. release video. And big thank you. Once again, shout out to Mario. I'm happy to plug the products that I believe in. And Mario, that's a product that I really am excited about. And I wish you nothing but success, my friend. So we love you guys. We appreciate you all. And listen to what Eric Trump had to say. Eric Trump says, stay out of crypto if you can't handle the volatility. Listen, if you can't stand the fire, get out the kitchen, my friends. We love you guys. We appreciate you all. Go out, touch some grass, hug some family. We'll see you in 72 hours. And like we always say, we'll see you all in the next one.
But the challenge, as you know well, is the U.S. has had this very hostile. The Biden administration has been waging a war on crypto, and I think an unlawful war. Courts have agreed with us on that. And we're finally seeing that kind of unlocked in a Trump embraced crypto, and crypto embraced Trump. And I think we're seeing that reflect in kind of how the markets have reacted since the election.
So
we want them
You're going to be so proud of your president, and I don't care about that. But you are going to be so proud of your country because we're going to turn it around and we're going to start winning again. We're going to win so much. We're going to win at every level. We're going to win economically. We're going to win with the economy. We're going to win with military. We're going to win with healthcare and for our veterans. We're going to win with every single facet. We're going to win so much, you may even get tired of winning. And you'll say, please, please, it's too much winning. We can't take it anymore. Mr. President, it's too much. And I'll say, no, it isn't. We have to keep winning. We have to win more. See, the bottom line is... Well, you don't know much about crypto. You know nothing about nothing. You fake news.
So if you're looking to do the same strategies that we implement here on Good Evening Crypto, I would advise everybody sign up for Merlin and click on the ITrust Capital link below. Now, why did these two ideas play off one another? Merlin is going to allow our listeners to understand where they should be taking profit in this market, and ITrust is going to allow our listeners to take that profit tax-free through an IRA product. Now, that's not the best part about this. We are giving new clients a $100 sign-up bonus using the promo code GEC9. So I would encourage everybody, click on the link below the video, use promo code